India-Pakistan war is stopped with the intervention of United States. And Mr. Donald Trump has offered to resolve the Kashmir issue by mediation. Now, this is the same Donald Trump which some time back, when he had proposed to stop the Israel-Gaza war, had offered that Gaza may be vacated, the Palestinians living in Gaza could be resettled in neighboring countries of Jordan and Egypt, and that the piece of real estate, called Gaza, be given to him so that he could develop it and create more jobs. Now, this is a ridiculous proposal. I mean, how can you expect a people who consider it their homeland to vacate it and give it to somebody else? Similarly, Mr. Trump has now offered to resolve the Kashmir crisis, and we don't know what he has in mind. So we have to be suspicious of Mr. Trump's intervention. It is good that he stopped the war. It is good in the interest of the common Indian and Pakistani population. But beyond that, Mr. Trump should not be allowed to intervene in this area because it could have dangerous consequences. The second issue which is of importance is that Narendra Modi is saying that India will not give in to Pakistan's nuclear blackmail. It obviously means that Pakistan must have thought about using nuclear weapon, and it is quite understandable because the weaker side, the side who would have seen that it was going to lose the war, could have used a nuclear weapon, and Donald Trump has said that he has averted a nuclear war. Now, nuclear weapon is possessed by both India and Pakistan. But if you look at the history, it was India who did the first testing in 1974, and then in 99 it's tested the second time. The first time we were told by our Prime Minister Indira Gandhi that this testing was not meant to produce a weapon. It was meant for peaceful purposes, although everybody who knew about it, like George Fernandez, protested against it, and he said that you are making a weapon. And then in 99, the Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government openly claimed that they had built the bomb and they were now ready to take on any country on earth, including the United States. And one of the ministers in his government, Madan Lal Khurana, challenged Pakistan to tell the time and the place where Pakistan would like to meet for a war. Now, all this war hysteria was created when the nuclear weapon was built, and probably India never thought that Pakistan would be able to build its nuclear weapons so soon. Within the same month, India tested around 11th and 13th of May, and Pakistan tested towards the end of the month. Even before a month could be completed, Pakistan had tested its weapons. So both countries had nuclear weapons in 99. And traditionally, in conventional army, India was superior to Pakistan. It had more personnel, it had more aircrafts. Its navy and air force was superior to Pakistan. So India had an edge over Pakistan militarily. But after nuclear weapons were made, and now both countries possess about the same number of nuclear weapons, Pakistan probably has some more. So they have the capacity to destroy each other devastatingly. I mean, if these 50 odd nuclear weapons are used by India and Pakistan against each other, and once a country uses it, there will be no way to stop it. The other country will have to respond by dropping its nuclear weapons on the other country. So, and even if you intercept the nuclear weapon in air, there is going to be a lot of damage because of the radiation which will emanate from it. So almost the entire Pakistan and almost the entire North India would be wiped out, the big cities, if these nuclear weapons are used. So it is a very dangerous weapon. We don't want about 100 Hiroshima or Nagasaki's on both sides, and that is the reason this weapon will never be used. We hope so. It has never been used after 1945 when it was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The United States could have used it in Vietnam, England could have used it on Argentina in the Falkland Wars, and the Soviet Union could have used it in Afghanistan when it was losing the war. But none of these countries, and France could have used it in Algeria, but none of these countries who possessed nuclear weapons used it, even though they lost the wars or they could not achieve their objective, but they did not use it because nobody wants another Hiroshima or Nagasaki. And therefore, this weapon is probably not going to be used, but we must understand that it was essentially because of India's initiative that nuclear weapon was built in this subcontinent, and Pakistan followed India's suit, and both countries now possessing nuclear weapons are nuclear rivals, and at least in terms of the most dangerous weapon that they possess, they have almost equal capability. So if Pakistan is armed with nuclear weapons, it is India who is responsible for it because India made it first and Pakistan was forced to follow. So this talk about Pakistan blackmailing India with nuclear weapons, we have to understand that essentially we are responsible for it. Had we not made the nuclear weapons, they would not have made. Pakistan says the day India signs the CTBT treaty or the NPT treaty, the non-proliferation treaty and comprehensive test ban treaty, it would sign it. So Pakistan is essentially saying that if India had decided not to have nuclear weapons, we would not have made it. So we have done the mistake, we must admit it, and the best course of action for future would be that we should eliminate the possibility of dangerously wiping out entire Pakistan and entire North India, and this weapon must be given up by both countries by an agreement. And this is not some new thing which is being talked about. There are regions in the world, there have been countries who have been involved in nuclear arms race like Argentina and Brazil. They never made it, but both of them were trying to make it, but they gave up their nuclear weapons. South Africa gave up its nuclear weapons. The entire South America, the entire African continent, the Central Asian 5 countries around Kazakhstan, the Southeast Asian countries including Australia and New Zealand, all these are nuclear weapon free zones in the world. There are formal treaties which have been entered into by the countries in these regions, and the countries in these 4 regions whose number is more than 125, which means more than half the earth in terms of number of countries, has agreed not to keep these weapons because it doesn't want a scenario where Hiroshima and Nagasaki's can be created. So we must learn from the wise countries of the world. We must not follow the examples of mad countries who make war their business and they earn money by selling weapons. The powerful countries of the world, especially the 5 members of the Security Council, the permanent members, they are the ones who officially possess nuclear weapons. And then beyond those 5, which is United States, Russia, England, France and China, India, Pakistan, Israel, most likely Iran and most likely North Korea also have these weapons, and these 10 countries must also come to an agreement to eliminate this dangerous weapon. That is the only way that India can be prevented by Pakistan from nuclear blackmailing it. So we hope that like Africa, South America, Southeast Asia and Central Asia, and of course Mongolia, the single country in that region which has resolved in its parliament not to make a nuclear weapon, more than 125 countries altogether, India and Pakistan would learn a lesson from these and will make South Asia also a nuclear weapon free zone. Thank you.